What's up, my peeps? Let me begin this video by quoting the great Big Boy from the group Outkast. I quote, "Cell therapists, beware of this loogie that I spit. Incarceration without rehabilitation really don't mean shit." It's a very powerful line, and I think it's a perfect way to open up my topic for today, and that's prison reform. And I'm going to talk about a specific type of prison reform. And I think that this particular thing or prison reform that I'm speaking of should be bipartisan. I don't think that whatever political side you lean on, you should have no beef with what I'm about to say, okay? Or what I'm going to request. I really think that prisons should have mandatory job skills training. You should get trained in a specific skill, so when you're released, you will have a skill to make you a productive member of society. And I also believe that they should have mandatory job placement. I think for certain type of inmates, primarily non-violent inmates, but I really feel that if you show that you are rehabilitated, and when I say mandatory, maybe I shouldn't use mandatory. It should be voluntary, but it should be mandatory for every prison to have this type of program in there. It should be a job skills program in there for inmates. And if you show that you volunteer for this, you go through the program, you get a skill, you get it certified in that skill, I think, with that and good behavior, once you get out of prison, you should get job placement. So basically, you're dealing with a real rehabilitation center, and it becomes kind of like Job Corps for you, okay? Prison really doesn't give hope to a lot of inmates, all right? They get in there and, they're being punished. Prison, I don't think that prison should be a fucking resort, okay? I'm not saying that these people should have Sega Genesis. I'm old. They shouldn't have, video games or big screen TVs and stuff like that. Prison should be prison, okay? Prison should be prison. All right, you are there because you committed a crime. But I think that if you're seeking a productive life outside of those walls, if you go in there and you like, you know what, I've had enough of this place, I'm going to get my shit together and get the fuck up out of here. When you get up out of there, you should be able to have placement at a job and become a taxpayer, okay? And you can contribute to these public schools that need help. You can contribute to these fucked up roads we got to drive on every day. Become a taxpayer, all right? Now, in some prisons, they do have skills. They have job training skills in there. And it's been a lot of controversy on how they run these programs because they say they damn near like slavery, all right? I'm not sure. I don't know the ins and outs to these. Let me say this. On my last video, I made a mistake by saying that the Steele dossier came out 2 days ago when they actually made it last year. And I put the edit in the description box of that video. And I'm saying that to say this. Everything that I say in these videos is off the top of my head, okay? So I urge everybody to fact check me. When I say at the end of my videos, okay, get in the comment section and tell me I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. If there's something that I'm missing in there, if it's a fact that I got wrong, get in there and tell me. I'm not going to dispute a fact that you give me because this is coming off the top of my head and I could be wrong, okay? Now back to what I was saying. They have some job skills programs in prisons, but from what I heard, they're damn near like slavery, all right? Now, the treatment that these guys get in these job skills programs, that could be, that's left up to them. I don't know the ins and outs in that, so I don't have an opinion on that. From what I know, hearing that there is a job school program, a job skill program in prison, I think it's a good thing, okay? But it should be ran like a real skills program. I don't think it should be ran like slavery. I'm not sure the conditions that these guys have to endure. I don't know. I didn't do any thorough research on that. Again, that's something I heard. That's not something that I read about, okay? Now, I also heard that there are nonprofit organizations that give job placements for prisoners. You know, inmates that get out and, you know, they learn a skill, or maybe they already had a skill or something like that. I don't know how it works, but I know that they have nonprofit organizations that do give these guys placement. Okay. Now, these are nonprofit organizations, so I'm going to take a wild guess and say that this is not something that's spread across the 50 states. All right. I think that this should be mandatory for all prisons, okay? Everybody that gets locked up, that displays good behavior, that goes through the skills training and gets certified in that skill, they should have a job waiting on them, okay? We shouldn't have prisons that are a revolving door, all right? It's not fair for somebody to get released on good behavior or whatever they're getting released for, they did their time, and they come out and they are limited on opportunities. They should have every opportunity that we have, okay? It shouldn't be no bumps in the road, really, because you don't want to discourage somebody that just got finished doing hard time. It's already discouraging when you don't have a damn prison record, all right? Anybody that knows, when you're out looking for a job, that shit is a job, okay? People who don't have a record. You know, when I'm looking for a job, man, that shit is like, it's like a job, okay? And imagine how it is for somebody that just got out, all right? They just got out, they got this shit on their record. Nobody's trying to hire them. The best thing that I've seen out of people who get out of jail is, okay, I'm speaking as a guy from the hood. I can't say what happens, you know, where I stay at now. I don't know any ex-cons out here, you know, but in the hood, from what I know, the best thing that happens to them, the best thing that I've seen happen to them is they open up a barbershop, or they get employed with a barbershop and they end up opening their own, you know, when they're saving their money working at that barbershop. That's the best thing I've ever seen, all right? And it's amazing for them to be able to do that, all right? Now, in personal experience, I have a cousin that went to jail. You know, he went to prison. I'm not going to put his business out there and tell you what he did or anything like that, all right? I'm just going to tell you a little bit of what he's going through, all right? This guy has been working for a temp service for like 10 years, something like that. I know I moved to Illinois when I was 21, 22, something like that. So we look at over 10 years, because he was doing the shit. He was working at the temp service when I got out here. So over 10 years, this guy's been working at a temp service. Nobody wants to hire him permanently, all right? And I think that within a certain time frame, you know, if we're going to go that route, if they're not going to give job placement, if they're not going to give skills, and you're going to keep the system as is, at least look at a person's record and see that this person has been a productive member for, I would say, give them like 3 to 5 years max. Give them 5 years max. If they've been working for 5 years, and that might be a little bit too damn long, okay? But if they've been working for 5 years, you know, damn, like, I think it's time for them to get a permanent position somewhere, or at least wipe that off their record so they can get a permanent position somewhere. You know, it shouldn't be really that damn discouraging for somebody that's already did their punishment. You know, when your kid breaks some shit in the bathroom and you put them in timeout, you know, when they come out of timeout, are you making it hard for them to do anything else? No, you let them run around like a fucking kid again, okay? And you hope that you putting them in timeout taught them not to do that again, okay? And, you know, for my folks in the hood, we got ass whippings, but I'm going to use timeout as an example. But, yeah, I don't like the way that is. I think that, you know, prisoners should, ex-cons who are showing that they're willing to participate in society legally, okay, they should have every opportunity given to them. All right. And the best thing I can think of is you make it mandatory for every prison to teach a skill, certain skills, okay? They pick and choose a skill that they want to go down and be welding or plumbing or anything like that, okay? I've heard of prisons that's been doing tech skills too, okay? Something in tech skills, any kind of skill. They sign up for that program. If they complete that program and get certification and they get let out on good behavior, they should have a job placement program they can go to and they can go right to working, okay? I don't see anything wrong with that, all right? If you ask me, that's the best thing because they're contributing. We need all hands on deck in this economy, okay? If we're going to have a well-functioning economy, if we're going to be able to get goods at a great price, or if we're going to be able to get innovative things, like the new things, because these guys probably got all types of ideas that they can let out, but they can't get it out there because of their record, all right? If we're going to get the next big thing, if we're going to get the best price on certain goods for all my libertarians, that believe that worship the free market, and you believe that prices go up and down depending on the competition, okay? If we're going to get the best goods at a good price, this is a way to go to have more people participating in the market, okay? You are taking people out of the market, and what they do, when you take them out and you put them in prison, they're out of the market, okay? When they get out, they can't participate in the legal market, so they go to the black market and end up going right back to fucking jail, okay? And I want to draw a comparison that is apples and oranges, but I'm going to do it any fucking way, okay? All right? When you take a married couple, all right, and I'm going to be politically correct with this because I've seen this, it was like a couple years ago with Mary J. Blige and her husband, all right? Mary J. Blige was the breadwinner, all right? She was making all the fucking money. Her husband wasn't making money like that, all right? They were married for years, and he got accustomed to a certain lifestyle. He lived this lifestyle that she provided for him for a long time to a point where he was just used to it. And if he goes any other type of way, if it's anything beneath that lifestyle, he might go crazy. His mind might not function right. And this is what they look at in court, to my knowledge. I'm not a lawyer, okay? But the way I see it when I read these cases is that when it's a case of somebody that is used to a certain lifestyle, the reason why they are granted money from the breadwinner in a relationship is so they can maintain that lifestyle, so they can maintain their sanity. Now, this is where I draw the comparison, the apples and oranges comparison. If you take a drug dealer, okay, and he's used to a certain lifestyle, and you lock him up, okay, he do his time, he doesn't do any skills training or nothing like that. That's not provided in the prison that he goes to, okay? And you let him out on good behavior, and you put him back out there, and he tries to go the legal way, but he's constantly getting turned down because of his record, all right? So the only job he can get is at a temp service or, fast food or something that's paying him a lot less than what he was making in them streets. His mindset is used to a certain lifestyle. What do you think he's going to do? He's going to go crazy, just like you look at Mary J. Blige husband, who is used to a certain lifestyle. If you take that away from him, he might go crazy, all right? So why do you think this drug dealer won't go crazy? It's apples and oranges, but I'm really comparing the mindset, okay? So we need to really put ourselves in these people's shoes and think that if you're let out and you don't have opportunity and you're not given a skill, you're going to do what you know best, okay? What were you good at when you were in these streets, all right? And you were good at selling dope. You were good at robbing. You were good at, whatever illegal activity that put food on your table, but also got your ass locked up. You're going to take that risk because you got to eat. All right, you probably got kids. They gotta eat. You got a family you gotta take care of. So we need to break that cycle. And to me, the best way to break that cycle is if they make it mandatory for jails to teach a skill, okay, and give them mandatory placement when they get out of jail. I'm gonna quote this last line again before I'm out. Cell therapists, beware this loogie that I spit. Incarceration without rehabilitation really don't mean shit. All right. Get in the comment section. Tell me I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. If there were some facts that, you know, were not facts that came out of my mouth, let me know. If it's something that I missed and something that can make me think deeper on this subject, get in there and let me know. And you guys have a good one. All right. Peace.